What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Musa podcast. Riding solo again today, just me in the seat. Riley's obviously working, grinding, doing his thing. So we'll just get into it. We'll get into a short episode. I thought, I wanted to talk about primarily one thing in this episode because it's been weighing on me a lot, obviously, since Thursday night. I'm sure you can get where I'm coming through here is I want to talk about the future of the North Queensland Cowboys. Obviously, if you guys have been here before, I love this club with everything. I've loved them since the day I was born. Shout out, Dad. But I just want to see this club do good again. And right now it seems like I shouldn't be doom and gloom because we just come off a win streak. We lost one game, but this isn't the first time this has happened. Like, under Payton, and believe me, I think Todd Payton is a bloody good coach. There is a consistency coming through. So I have pulled up some stats. I wanted to go through them. So if you're looking for Riley's stories or some funny content, this is going to be more of a rugby league nerd out. So if that's not your thing, look, I totally get it. You can probably just find another episode because this one's going to be primarily a lot of nerding out about rugby league. Majority the Cowboys probably. But yeah, let's just get into it. So the whole chat about like should Todd Payton be the coach currently of the Cowboys? I think on paper Todd's coaching style should work for this Cowboys team. But I think maybe his personality is clashing with your Drinkwaters, your Deardens, like maybe not your Deardens. I wouldn't say Todd and him would have a problem, but I think one thing about our football team is the buck stops with Scott Drinkwater. Depending on how he performs is how our team goes, and that's just because we've built around this great player. And I'll get into Scott soon. Obviously, when recording this, there's a report out saying that he's all but signed with the Dragons. So I'll talk about Scott in a second because, yeah, I do want to give him his flowers, and he means a lot to this football club. And the hate he's been getting recently has just been just ridiculous. Like, seriously, if you're a Cowboys fan and you've been hating on Scott Drinkwater, like, I think you should take a good look in the mirror. My opinion, obviously. But let's go back to Todd Payton. So Todd Payton took over the team in 2021. That was mid-year. It was a tough fucking year. We came 15th with a 7-17 record. Obviously missed the finals. A rebuild year. Tough first season after taking over. Defense leaked badly. 748 points conceded. And they finished second last. So pretty bad year. But that was, that was mid-year. So, no problems there. You go into 2022, his first full year with a preseason. We finished third and went to the preliminary final. So that's the game right before the grand final. So 17-7, massive breakout year, one of the best turnarounds in NRL recent history. Payton won the Dally M Coach of the Year, taking the team from 15th to the top 4. So I remember that year in the back end of me coming back to my rugby league. That was a defensive team. Like, obviously we had our Drinkwaters, we had the Hammer back then coming off the bench. Your Tom Gilberts, your effort players, your Jake Granvilles and such. That was a year primarily built on effort. And I've just realized I've got an earphone in, so I'll take that out. Move on. Shout out Sammy Valame, by the way. mad pitcher. Anyway, back into what we're talking about. 2022 was an effort year. It was all built on effort. Everything that came out of 2022 was effort-based, I think. So, like, we come out of that year and you're kind of thinking, oh, okay, this is, how the team's going to be, an effort team. We're going to break teams down without offense and, do some damage. So you move on to 2023 and we finished in 11th, 11-13 and missed the finals. So we had massive defensive issues this year, including and I know we avenged it later, but there was I will never forget the night. Shout out to Sarah, my mother-in-law. I went to her house to watch the Cowboys play because I thought it'd be a lot of fun, and I watched them get beaten 6-6 to 18 by the Tigers, who were coming off 2 wooden spoons. or maybe 1 at the time. Either way, a wooden spoon team had put 60 points on us, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what the hell I was watching. Now, granted, next couple of weeks we beat them 74-0, the highest score ever in a NRL game. Whatever, get sucked in. Tigers suck. I know they beat us earlier this year. Whatever. I'm struggling. Leave me alone. Now, 2023 was a tough year, especially coming off 22. But it kind of felt like maybe, I feel like we had some injuries. We lost some players, Hammer had gone to the Dolphins. Gilbert also went to the Dolphins. I think Jakey Granville was injured a little bit that year, and that's why we kind of had to figure out how to play without him. Jason Tamalolo, I think, was injured for a lot of this year. That was the start of his kind of big injury block, which he's kind of coming back from now. But yeah, 23 was a tough year. Go into 24, and we finished 5th, 15-9, lost the semi-final to the Sharks, which I remember. I think Ruben Cotter had like a weird penalty try or whatever. Val Holmes broke his leg. Like it was a weird game. But either way, we beat the Knights we should have got beaten by the Knights, honestly. Like if Ponga makes that pass, or I think it was Ponga or Gagai was catching it, probably lose that game. Great game, by the way. I went to that game in 2024. It was the atmosphere was unreal. But yeah, 2024 finished 5th, and then you go back to last year, and we finished in 12th. And I think last year, a lot of last year's problems were the amount of fucking the amount of, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Like older players, the amount of experience we lost. We lost Kyle Felt. That was Jake Granville's last year. We lost a couple of other players that I can't think of off the top of my head, but we lost a lot of really, really good players. Kyle Felt being one of them, who scored, I think, the second or third most tries that year. In 24, I mean. But yeah, and now sitting in 2026, actually don't know where we're sitting currently, but we're what, 4 wins on the trot, currently sitting in 11th. It shouldn't be all doom and gloom at the moment, but it's just the consistency of the drop off. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to pull this up as well. So obviously 2022 we had a great year. 2023 we go, so loss, win, loss, win, and then we do 4 losses in a row. Then we go to another win under the loss, and then 4 wins in a row. And then loss, 3 wins in a row. Loss, win, loss. And that was a year that we didn't make the finals. Crazy. And then we go into the next year, which we actually made the finals. So we go win, loss, win. So 4-1, pretty good. And then we lose 5 in a row. And then win 2, lose another, win, lose another, and then another, and then we bang off 4 in a row, 4 wins. Like, the consistency is the problem. So 2025, we had win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So it doesn't look as bad, but there's way more losses there anyway. Yeah, last year was just a shit year, but it's the inconsistency of Todd Payton teams. I don't know what the problem is, but they can't stay on a good, I don't even, you can do 4 in a row and then lose and then win another, that's fine, but it's the massive loss streaks that are they're just fucking hurting us. It's just, I got all this stuff from ChatGPT. ChatGPT has branded this as very on-brand Cowboys chaos. This team in 2022 was a defensive juggernaut that could contend with anyone. And now we're just a fucking mess. You listen to every podcast at the start of the past couple of years, and they're just the Cowboys could win the comp or they could come last. That's not how our football team should be. And as a fan, it is so fucking frustrating to watch a team like this, where this week we play Who do we play? We play the Sharks, who are a great football team, most boring team in the comp. Floyd Mayweather of NRL people have said, maybe on this podcast or not. We play the Sharks, who are a good football team, but like I believe that the team that we have, I believe the team we have can beat the Sharks, but it depends what team shows up. I want to get to a point where I know what team is showing up, and I know, you know what I mean? Like it just pisses me off. It really does. Yeah, like who knows how the end of this year goes? Like Todd Payton's off contract this year, so we haven't re-signed him. There's no like, there's talks of other coaches being asked about, but like from what I can see now, this era of Todd Payton has got it's got a prelim, which is great, but I feel like it's coming to an end, and we're going to go into a rebuild very soon, and it's going to be a bit shit for a couple of years. I'm not going to lie. So let me talk about one of our most consistent players. Consistent or inconsistent? He's consistently inconsistent. Either way, Scott Drinkwater. So if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, Scott Drinkwater is signed with the Dragons, which like most Cowboys fans would fucking celebrate at, which I think is just really poor form, because Drinkwater has been, since he's been at the Cowboys, he's been an average like top 10 Dally M every year. And you don't just do that just because. Like every full season he's had a top 10 in the Dally M. So 22 tied 4th, 2023 top 10 finish, 2024 5th, and then 2025 obviously just outside the top 10. 2025 was a shit year. Either way, I think the fact that Drinkwater is going to be leaving us, and we're going to move on to Jackson in the fullback, and I think Jackson's going to be a fantastic fullback. Not yet. I think if Drinkwater leaves next year, I think we could be in for a tough couple of years, because obviously Jackson's going to get better, but he is so young. You can prove me wrong. Prove me wrong if you want Jackson, please do. But if I'm looking at it with my thinking brain, I think next year, if Drinkwater's not there, we're not going to make the 8. I don't think we will. Again, please prove me wrong, but like, I think Scott brings so much to this team, and taking him out of it is going to change everything. On one of the podcasts I was listening to the other day, I don't remember which one it was, probably the Bloke podcast. Guru said that we should be building this team around Tom Dearden. Yes, 100% we should be building this team around Tom Dearden. He is our captain. He is all effort, all freaking day. I don't know why I guess we had Drinkwater before Dearden. It's just, yeah, a lot of young players coming into the team. It's just, it's been a tough watch for a couple of years, because it's just like the entire NRL community just sits there and goes, "What Cowboys are going to get today? The Cowboys are shit. The Cowboys are great. The Cowboys are like." It's just so frustrating to watch. I hate going into a game and going, "I wonder what team's going to show up tonight." That was a lot of ramble. Yeah, a lot of ramble. Like, that's kind of all I've got with the Cowboys chat. Like, I'm gonna stick positive, obviously, as a fan of the Cowboys. I love this team, and I will never stop loving them every single game, no matter what shit I say on this podcast. I try to be critical. I try to critical think, and I try to, be fair and unbiased. But I love this football team. I really, really do. 2015 was the greatest. 2022 even was the greatest. Like, I went to that Eels game, and it was tough. The Knights game was like one of the best nights of my life. I went with my wife. Shout out to the wife of the year. I just want to see this team succeed, man. I really, really just want to see them succeed. For me, for my family, for everyone in Townsville, really. I think when the Cowboys are doing great, Townsville, everyone's doing great. So we'll go through my tips, and I'll get out of here. Nice and short episode for you guys. So let's get into the tips of this week. Anzac round. Very, very important round. Shout out to... I don't want to say shout out. That seems rude. thank you to, I don't know why you guys will be listening, but thank you to anyone who fought in those wars and gave us our land that we have today. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed, and that's why we have a year for you every year. Shout out to you guys. I said shout out, I didn't mean to. Either way, thank you to all the Anzacs who gave up everything for us to be able to live how we do. So really appreciate everything you guys have done. So we'll go to tonight, being recorded on Thursday the 23rd of April. The West Tigers are in third against the Raiders at Leichhardt Oval. This will be pumping on Thursday night. Couple injuries for the Raiders. Tigers are looking pretty good. I'm going to probably go Tigers this game. Yeah, go Tigers. Yeah, not much more on that one. Next, we have Friday, 24th of April. Shout out to Riley. Happy birthday, Riley, for Friday. I think this will go out on your birthday, so happy birthday, bro. Enjoy doing a podcast with you, man. I could probably edit in a high inch. I probably won't. That's pretty difficult to do. Anyways, we got the North Queensland Cowboys up against the Cronulla Sharks at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Look, I want to go. I'm definitely going to go Cowboys, but I want to win my tipping comp as well. So if we keep performing how we do, I'm obviously not going to tip the Cowboys, but I'm going to stick with the Cowboys tonight against the Sharks. I think not tonight, tomorrow. I think we definitely have the team to beat the Sharks. It's just whether they show up. So let's see. Next Friday game at the 8 p.m. game is the Brisbane Broncos versus the Bulldogs. The Broncos are fucking decimated by injuries. Like I think they have like 18 unavailable players out of their top 30. So, I mean, the Broncos have been brave. The Bulldogs have been shit. This is such tough. It's a coin flip. If I'm going to pick someone, I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they showed a lot of fight the other day. So, we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah. Move on to the Anzac Day games. Oh, sorry, guys. So the first Anzac Day game is the annual Dragons versus the Roosters. Great game every year. Seriously, even if the Dragons are shit right now, like they always put up a fight. The debut of Cade Reed. Yes, all the Shane Flanagan news and whatever. I think the writing was on the wall for that. And big ups Blake Green. See how he goes. Now, the Roosters and the Dragons. Like it probably obvious to go Roosters. I'm gonna stay going Roosters, but I would not be surprised if the Dragons won this game. Off the new coach bump, the Cade Reed bump, Anzac Day, going out there and showing out. So we'll see what happens. Next Anzac Day game, we've got the Warriors and the Dolphins. I think the Warriors look great. This is in Wellington. Very cool. I've been to Wellington. Shout out my wife, who I went to Wellington with. She's the best. Anyway, Warriors versus Dolphins. I'm going to go Warriors here at home. Well, in Wellington. Dolphins off that Penrith game in Darwin. We've been fucking hot there. Playing about 90 minutes. So, yeah. I'm going to go Warriors. The last game on Anzac Day. Storm versus Rabbitohs. Storm going for 5. Or maybe 6, actually. It's 6, isn't it? Man. Imagine beating the Storm. Storm Rabbitohs, shit. Everyone's waiting for the Storm to like fling back in, and they're gonna do it eventually. But I think the Rabbitohs get them here. I'm gonna go Rabbitohs. Penrith Knights. I'm gonna go Penrith. Newcastle. I've looked really good recently. This is in Newcastle as well, so if there's a game they want to win, they probably want to do this one. Fletcher Sharp at fullback. Dylan Brown at the half. So, yeah, I'm going to go Panthers on this one. They just look too good still. And the last game at 4 Pines Park on the Sunday afternoon is the Seagulls and the Eels. The Eels looked great last week, but the Seagulls looked even better against a shit football team. So I'm going to go for Manly here and the Titans on the bye. But, yeah, those are me tips. Yeah. Sorry for the short episode, guys. Sorry if it was a boring episode as well. Like I know I drone on a little bit about football and the Cowboys, but maybe you found it interesting. Maybe you didn't. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing something. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the shorts as well. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the messages. Appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Seriously, it's been an awesome ride, and we're not slowing down yet. You know, we've still got so much more to go. You know, we're just starting out here, so you know we'll figure this out, and yeah, we're gonna grow. We're gonna go far. Anyway, yeah, love you guys. Thanks for listening.